Hey guys, this is Miss Uribe. Most of you know me. For those of you who don't, I'm a third grade reading teacher, and today I'm going to be reading you a book called The Big Test. Now the reason I'm reading you this book is because STAR is coming and it's fast approaching, and what we want you all to do is, of course, show your strategies, work hard, but most importantly, we want you to believe in yourself and do great. So this book talks a little bit about that. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the title. It's called The Big Test by Julie Dainberg, illustrated by Judy Love. Go ahead and get started. Mrs. Hartwell felt good, really good, really, really good. And there you could see her. All year long, her students had worked hard, learned lots, and had fun. And now, as the school year neared its end, Mrs. Hartwell told her students that they were ready to take the big test. Yuck, said Eddie. Double yuck, said Alexandra. Double, triple, quadruple yuck, said Josh. I hate tests. Mrs. Hartwell laughed. Don't worry, this test is just a chance to show how much you've learned. Like addition, Emily shouted out. And reading, said Maria. And science, Jack joined in. Mrs. Hartwell nodded in agreement. Leaning forward, she added, we still have one thing left to learn, though. The class was confused. But you just said we were ready, Daniel said. You are, almost. But on a test, you also have to know how to show what you know, explained Mrs. Hartwell. It's the last thing we have to learn. It'll be fun. So during reading time that morning, Mrs. Hartwell sent the students straight to their seats. Today we're going to practice our sitting still for long periods of time skill. I want you to read at your seat and work by yourself. That doesn't sound like fun to me, Eddie grumbled as he took out his book. The class worked quietly. The reading part was easy. Sitting still without making a sound was hard. For Andy, it was impossible. During recess, while everyone else ran and played, Andy ran and played and worried. After recess, Andy's stomach hurt. He asked to go to the nurse. Okay, said Mrs. Hartwell sadly, but you'll be missing this afternoon's Let's All Read the Directions lesson. Andy didn't mind. On Tuesday morning, Mrs. Hartwell said, Friday's the day of the big test. Since we don't want any bubble trouble when we take it, we're going to practice our fill-in-the-bubble skills. Everyone worked hard. Everyone did just fine. Everyone, that is, except Emily and Maria. By the time they were done working, Emily had a headache and Maria felt shivery all over. They asked to go to the nurse. Okay, said Mrs. Hartwell, looking concerned. But you're going to miss our morning of the test nutrition lesson. Emily and Maria took their pass and rushed out the door. On Wednesday morning, Mrs. Hartwell said, today we're going to take a practice test. Do we have to sit still for long periods of time? Asked Andy. Yes, said Mrs. Hartwell. Do we have to fill in bubbles? Asked Emily. And be sure to follow the directions? Asked Maria. Yes, you do, Mrs. Hartwell smiled encouragingly. Remember, this test is a chance to show what you know before the timer goes off. And there they are. Although most of the class did just fine, by the time the practice test was over, Daniel had gone to the nurse. As Mrs. Hartwell watched him go, she felt bad, really bad, really, really bad. On Wednesday afternoon, just before the bell, Mrs. Hartwell reminded everyone that tomorrow was the last day before the big test. We know, Eddie said grumpily. This big test is no fun. I can't wait for it to be over. All the other students nodded in agreement. As Mrs. Hartwell straightened up her desk, she said, tomorrow will be better, I promise. When the students entered the classroom on Thursday, Mrs. Hartwell greeted them with a smile. You've all worked hard this year, learned lots, and had fun, right? She asked. Yeah, said the class. And this week we practice how to show what you know, right? Right, said the class hesitantly. Now it's time for the most important lesson of all, said Mrs. Hartwell. The class groaned as she told everyone to line up. Mrs. Hartwell walked her students down the hall. Everyone felt a little bit nervous. Mrs. Hartwell walked her students right up to the door of the library. Everyone felt a lot nervous. They gasped when she hung up a sign on the library door. I feel sick, said Eddie. Library closed, students testing. Mrs. Hartwell said, once you've learned what you can learn and know how to show what you know, it's time to stop worrying and just relax. And there you could see everyone having fun, relaxing after they worked hard all year. So the class did just that. And when the students finished the big test on Friday, they felt good, really good, really, really good. The end. So I wish you guys the best of luck. I know you're going to do awesome. Just show what you know, relax, has fun, and also this is an AR book. If I'm not mistaken, it's a 3.7. Thank you guys. Good luck. Bye.